And here we are. We are in the final week of the NFL season. And golly, does it feel good to be in the Super Bowl. Welcome to Objectively Wrong, presented by the Next Man Up. As always, I'm John. That's a team, and damn it feels good to win. It just feels good to win. We waited a full week to shoot this because the Super Bowl's 2 weeks from the conference. So we said, screw it. Doesn't really matter when we shoot it. But
plus, we also thought we would get a couple more coaching hires that
we thought we'd get something. Yeah. we haven't gotten a whole lot of coaching. The Colts and Cardinals still have not filled their jobs. The Texans did. The Panthers did. The Broncos did in weird fashion. We'll discuss some of those.
Desperately.
We'll discuss some of those. But I think what's important to discuss first is the conference championship games because they're the things that happen the longest ago.
Okay.
So let's just get them out of the way. They were
boring.
To the layman, perhaps. Perhaps to the layman, they weren't the most exciting.
Disappointing.
Well, the Chiefs game was actually...
No, that was fine. I'm talking about the first game.
So let's talk about the Eagles-Niners game.
Terrible. Sucks.
Give me adjectives.
Did not meet its potential.
My turn.
You know what it is? It's every child that was considered gifted, right? And as they grow in high school, they get more and more stressed and depressed, and eventually they don't reach the potential that their parents put them to. That's what that game was.
Are you going through something? Because that was a weird analogy. That was a long walk for a short drink of water. By the way, for those watching on YouTube, yes, I look like Chewbacca. It's going nowhere till the Super Bowl's over. It's just the way it is. The minute the game's done, shoop, gone. Most of it gone. I hate this.
You should do a goatee.
I will not do that. But I am so ready to be done with this beard. This is the second playoff beard I've done this year because the Eagles and Phillies both made it to their respective finals. I don't want to do this anymore. I shaved right before we played Washington and lost, and I have not shaved since. That was November. So it's been a minute, and it ain't going anywhere until this is done. Because Jalen hasn't lost. So Jalen has lost no games where I have perpetuated the beard, where I have facilitated this. So I maintain facilitation. As far as the Eagles-Niners game goes, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, other than to say it is, and I'm going to attempt to make it sound unbiased. I think it's lazy analysis for anybody to be discounting that game from the perspective of, well, how are the Niners supposed to win? They didn't have a quarterback. Nah, that's not why the Niners didn't win. The Niners didn't win because they didn't have a right side of the O-line. They didn't have a quarterback by virtue of not having enough established talent on the right side of the O-line.
Mike McGlinchey is in trouble.
Mike McGlinchey it wasn't entirely on him. But if you think a tight end is going to stop Hassan Reddick one-on-one, golly, you're dumb.
No, it's just it's not even just that game. He hasn't had a good playoffs.
No, he didn't. And now you got Trent Williams potentially thinking about retirement. Are the Niners done? Because this doesn't can we stop pretending that they're that good? Brandon Ayuk is pulling the biggest Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara said 5 years ago when the Eagles won the Super Bowl that the Saints would have kicked the Eagles' asses if they had not succumbed to the Minneapolis Miracle. It doesn't matter. The Eagles won that Super Bowl. And now Ayuk is saying the same crap. how the Niners would have had no problem exposing the Eagles, but for their lack of a quarterback. Okay? Protect him. Ayuk had one catch. Chill. It's fine. That's quitter speak. That is quitter speak. It's typical Kyle Shanahan quitter speak. Same old, same old. I'm also convinced George Kittle is certifiably insane. But that has nothing to do with this. Elite talent. I think he's nuts. I don't point at the Eagles scoring 31 and being like, hey, screw the Niners defense. They were not. No. The Niners defense played well.
Oh, yeah.
There were short fields a couple times. And the Niners in the second half of the game were completely unable to move the football.
The Niners defense kept that game close for a while, actually.
It could have gotten disrespectful. It really could have gotten bad. If Jalen Hurts were 100% and all these things. All these what ifs don't matter to me. What happened is what happened. Block. You got to block. Yeah, McCaffrey's a beast, and that's it.
Is he? Because he didn't really do anything.
He did. He was their 7, and it was a solo effort on that play. It was a solo effort. It was a fantastic touchdown play. I was furious because it was easy to just make tackles. That's all you have to do is make tackles. Eagles didn't do it on that play.
Anyway, so it was 2 freak injuries. Well, the first one was a freak injury.
One of them was a freak. The second one was Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah.
But the first one is just what it is. The guy's got a Tommy John injury.
No, he doesn't.
UCL.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a Tommy John.
But that's what the Tommy John is UCL.
I know, but a Tommy John isn't a Tommy John a full tear?
I don't know what the extent of his tear is.
He's out for 6 months, not a year.
Is he going to get surgery?
I think he's doing second. What do you call it? He's checking with all the doctors. Yeah, he's doing second opinions right now.
We'll see if he doesn't get surgery. We're going to see. And the reason you're going to see about that is because Brock Purdy's career was on borrowed time anyway. He can't really afford to go missing for a year if he wants to maintain in this league, unless he wants to come back and have the single greatest third season ever because he'll win comeback player of the year. But I understand the thinking that's been going around of like he's going to do everything he can to get back on the field as quickly as possible rather than trying to maybe get the elbow as right as it could be. What?
Nothing. Just fixing some things.
Okay. Yeah, I don't look at it from the perspective of, they didn't have a quarterback, so of course they didn't win. Well, then block. They had a quarterback starting the game. They just couldn't finish it. What are you doing? What did you break?
Getting rid of some noise complaints.
Noise complaints?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Because you couldn't hear the squeaking the entire time?
No.
Okay, well, that's good.
All right. Anyway, was it Oz?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I don't look at what the Niners argument is as even having any credence. Like, okay, great, you didn't have a quarterback. Well, you lost a bunch of them. You overcame it every other time. Just block. Like, it's invest in an O-line. Block. Just block. Hassan Reddick needs attention. You didn't give it to him.
Hassan Reddick needs some more respect, honestly.
You are not kidding. You are not kidding. Yeah, Hassan Reddick is as good as any pass rusher in the NFL right now. I'm still on record as saying I think Micah is the best defensive player in the league. And I'm not going to entertain anybody now saying a word about Nick Bosa. Lane Johnson is playing with half a body.
Oh, okay.
And Nick Bosa was gone.
Nick Bosa was also playing with half a groin during that game, wasn't he?
Nick Bosa got hit on the knee inadvertently while on the sideline.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was unlucky. That's just unlucky.
And it happened like right after the Drew Lock injury, too.
Drew Lock?
I'm sorry.
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy. They look the same.
Do they?
I think they do, actually. I want to check that.
Anyway, they kind of do. I don't really see it, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. No, I don't see it.
No. They look the same. I'm looking this up.
Okay.
Follow on with me, you two.
Come along with us on this journey. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of respect for Nick Bosa now.
Oh my God, they could be brothers. Mm-hmm. No, really?
No, they couldn't.
Yes, they couldn't.
They're just young and small. That's all they are.
They have the same face.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
This is a waste of a show. No, they do not.
I'm telling you, they look.
They don't, though. You're wrong. You're just wrong. And you're wrong about a lot of things. You're wrong about this, too.
They're objectively the same person.
And you're objectively wrong as hell. Nick Bosa is overrated. Micah Parsons is somehow still underrated, and Hassan Reddick is still underrated.
Micah Parsons is not underrated.
Yes, he is, because he's the best defensive player in the NFL, and people want to argue Nick Bosa, and they're fools. I don't think they're. I think he's underrated because I think there isn't an argument. Like, I don't think you can. I wouldn't even argue Hassan. I wouldn't. Micah is better. Period. The numbers are what they are. I get it. Hassan had a ridiculous second half of the season. That's fine. I get it. Micah Parsons is the best defensive player in the NFL. He's the best one. Aaron Donald is the only player in the NFL on defense that could compete for that. But the guy is and isn't retired at the same time, so I don't know.
The guy is wrapping up his career.
Speaking of guys that are not retired, Brady did it again. I don't even want to talk about it. Because
he's not a Raider.
Everybody gets one. He had his last year.
He's not a Raider.
Everybody gets one. Did you see somebody's trying to sell the sand from the beach where he retired on eBay? You know what it's up to?
150 grand, probably.
It's like 99.9.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very high. It's about $100,000. It's ridiculous what it's up to. But yeah, we don't talk about this game anymore because it was a waste. But I can't get behind the whole like, oh well, they didn't play anybody. No, they played who got there. If the NFL is diluted of talent, that's a different problem. Or maybe the NFL has so much goddamn talent everywhere that when you have a team this good, the Eagles roster's stacked. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like it's not loaded. It absolutely is. It's Tampa 2 years ago loaded. It is that good. But when you have so many teams in this league that can all win football games, beating any of them is, what are you laughing at?
I'm just comparing the two in my head right now.
You're an idiot.
What are you talking? Am I not allowed to appreciate rosters?
Oh, the roster. I thought we were still doing Purdy and Locke.
No.
That would have been idiotic. You comparing the rosters?
Yeah.
What? Who's better?
I don't know, honestly.
Tampa was busted that year. They were.
Yeah. No, they're very close.
And they're both facing Mahomes. So
yeah, and that bodes well for you.
It does. It does. Mahomes doesn't like to get hit. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, yeah, talent wins football games. I'm a big proponent of the right players are better than the best players. Example, the Dallas Cowboys have had the quote-unquote top 5 roster in the league for years, and they can't get to the conference. So it's not just about having the best players. We forgot about that, by the way. That's what you were forgetting about.
Oh,
yeah, we forgot about that. We'll talk about that a little later. I won't forget that now.
I'm so excited.
I am too. I'm so thrilled. The Cowboys gave me an early Christmas gift, and it's February. But anyway, yeah, I don't look at that win as anything other than, okay, they won. And I don't look at it as like, well, okay, but the Niners had all these. Make as many excuses as you want. Doesn't matter. You're going home. The Eagles aren't. On to Kansas City and Cincinnati. Joseph Osai.
Great
poor bastard. You poor bastard. I don't blame him.
For what, hitting Mahomes?
No. That's obviously it's the right call. I'm just saying you had a million ways to win that game. You got to stop Mahomes on third sometimes, they just didn't.
My only thing of like I'm just going to that play in that instant, right?
The Osai play.
Yeah, the Osai play. There's no reason because Mahomes wouldn't get extra yardage regardless.
Right.
There was a corner literally right there.
Right.
It was a frustration thing. He lost his cool and cost his team. Like, I mean, there really is no excuse for it.
No, I'm not trying to make an excuse for it. I'm not going to make an excuse for it. But what I am going to say is that if you're a Bengals fan or even a self-respecting football fan and you watch that play over and over again, you say, well, this is the reason they lost the football game. No, it isn't. Like that's my point. No, it's not even one of the reasons. If you play better 59 other minutes, that shit doesn't happen or matter. My point is, I can never at this point, unless there's some egregious like turnover or block, you can point at like 5, 6, 7, 8 plays a game as the reason the game flipped. If there are 8 plays where a game turns on those 8 plays and you get 7 of them, you're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
If there's 8 plays and you get 5 of them, you're probably going to win. If you're on the deficit, you're going to lose. That's my point. Osai is one of those like 9 plays from that game. That's fine. If the Bengals lose on that one, but hit on the other 8, probably win that game by 10. And also, he would not have had that situation. Mahomes wouldn't have been running. But
that might have still happened.
It might have still happened. Yeah, that's my point. Is like I can't point at the Osai thing and be like, "Oh my God, it's on him. Oh my God, what a mistake." Yeah, he fucked up. I think he knows he fucked up. But
so basically,
I can't say it's the reason they lost.
So basically, football games are decided on like a finite number of events that can flip the entire game.
There's 60 minutes of football.
Yeah.
Each play is an event.
Okay.
You have to be more successful on more of them.
Weighted more than others.
Depending on how the previous events have occurred.
Okay.
Depending on how every event relates to other events in a football game. That's why you have to adapt and react to what opposing teams do. Every individual play is its own individual happening. If you succeed on one thing, you then continue your game script and you attempt to succeed on the next thing. Obviously, if the Bengals are not in the situation they're in, Joseph Osai doesn't commit that penalty. So 59 minutes were played, or I don't know what time it was when he committed the penalty. It was late. But I don't know if it was like 59-10 or something.
Yeah, it set up the field goal, so I had to be like,
yeah, it was late.
Yeah.
There were so many occurrences early in the game. How about the first fucking half? Like, just do something else another time. I don't know why the Bengals think they can run the ball. Because they can't. And again, we've said it about 5 trillion times in the show. You have to protect the boy. And if they're not healthy, I understand that. But they weren't good when they were healthy. So, like, are you not getting, like, what are you not getting? Whoever the O-line coach in Cincinnati, he might keep that seat real hot because you need to start thinking about a change. 2 years in a row, really 3 years in a row, where Joe Burrow is just under siege constantly. And I understand he's ridiculous. He's incredibly talented, but you need to help him. And now T. Higgins is probably going to get traded. So,
Okay.
Well, that's significant. That's very significant. To the Bengals, it's incredibly significant. Their primary threat is having 3 WR2s or better. That's their strength. If they don't have T, they probably won't have that.
So let's look at
trade T for an O-lineman. That's what you should do.
I was like, I'm trying to think of like the top O-linemen that are like
via trade.
Yeah.
I can't think of a good one.
I mean, Kansas City has one.
Who?
The one who's a free agent this year.
Well, then they're not trading him.
I mean, they're probably going to tag him.
You're not tagging and trading an O-lineman.
Yeah.
Who? You talking about Orlando Brown?
Yeah, Orlando.
He got paid.
Did he get paid?
Yeah, Orlando got paid.
No, he's a free agent.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm sure he got paid. Why do I remember him being paid?
He's on the tag right now.
Oh, that's okay. Yes, I'm confusing myself with the fact that he was already tagged. Yeah, they're not going to tag him twice. I'd be very surprised if they tagged him twice. Anyway, I'd be very surprised if that happens.
Anyway, so for the losers, right? To improve on in the offseason, the Bengals have about $30 million in cap space
to spend.
Yeah.
Well, Joey's about to be in year 4.
Yeah.
I know where some of that money's going.
That's not relevant, actually, right? Because it'll always be an extension.
Yes.
So the money won't be important. That
depending on how it's negotiated. Yes, you're correct.
All right, but they're in their window. They're not adding money to this.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, the window's now. Like it's like you got another year. You got 1 year, really. You've got one.
Who do they need? They need to re-sign Jesse Bates
and Von Bell, both safeties,
and Eli Apple.
They don't need to re-sign.
Samaj P. Ryan.
Samaje is going to go. It's a double. It's a RB2. There's a million of them.
They don't have an RB1.
Yes, they do. They do. It's low end.
Wow. Not only is Eli Apple a free agent, Trey Flowers is a free agent.
So the whole damn secondary is.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind then. I take it back. The window's closed.
Jalen
I take it back.
This is also a free agent.
Yeah, I take it back. I fully take it back. Fuck this team. They're screwed.
All right, let me check San Francisco.
You waited too damn long. What are you doing? You waited too long to protect him. Listen, the window's not closed. Joe Burrow's your quarterback. You're going to be okay. But you're going to need to really get smart real quick. Jesse Bates is going to be out of your price. What?
San Francisco has $3 million.
Yeah, they have no money.
They have no money.
They have nothing.
And their free agents include Jimmy Ward.
I think some of it is protected by Garoppolo being gone. Mm-hmm. I think that helps financially. No. I don't know how they're going to pay Jimmy Ward.
No, I think that's already taken into account.
Jimmy Ward's going to get Marcus Williams money. That's what he's going to get. He's going to get almost the same contract. Same with CJ Gardner-Johnson.
He's a free agent.
Go to Cincinnati. They already have a right tackle. He's just hurt. That's like the one spot where I'm like, okay, they're probably okay there. Lyle Collins is a capable right tackle.
Wow,
the two teams that lost are in trouble.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. The Chiefs and Eagles aren't. The loser of this game is in better shape than the two teams that lost the conference title. It's just facts. And Jerry Jones doesn't have a clue what he's talking about.
Speaking of the Eagles financially,
go ahead.
Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
Oh, that's a valid segue.
They are currently over $100 million apart, reportedly.
Yeah.
He's likely heading towards the tag. He's getting traded, in my opinion.
I unfortunately, just my brain cannot stop considering like the DEFCON 1 potential of him being traded for Dak Prescott. Like my brain just has that. Dak and capital for Lamar.
I think it's the Jets. Right?
Fine. Go over there. I know the Ravens are very motivated to keep him out of the conference.
Yeah. But, Washington will be a spot. Dallas could be a spot.
Washington's a spot. Washington doesn't have a ton of capital. Washington's a spot. Dallas, I think, is a legitimate thing to consider. New York is a legitimate thing to consider.
I don't think it's New York.
But I think you have to consider it.
Tampa?
I was about to say Tampa.
Carolina?
That's not going to happen.
You don't think Frank Reich would go for it?
It could. No, that one could, actually.
Atlanta?
No, that's not going to happen.
Why not?
Of a bit. Fuck.
That entire division needs quarterback.
The whole damn conference could get him.
Yeah, New Orleans Saints?
They can't afford him.
Oh, true.
There's 60 in the red. I don't know how you let that happen. But they're in the red $63 million.
Green Bay? Wouldn't that be something?
1 for 1. True swap.
Imagine if you're Jordan Love.
True swap.
It makes sense, right? Because technically Rodgers contract-wise is what, $15 million next year? And then I think it's $30 million the year after. And then I would
be surprised if Harbaugh wanted to take Aaron Rodgers on. That would surprise me. If John Harbaugh was like, that's the mentality I want in this locker room. It's not a John Harbaugh guy It doesn't pass the smell test.
San Fran's not interested in Rodgers at all, which does surprise me.
No, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Really?
No, why would it?
Because they're a quarterback away.
No, they're not. It is so. That's my point. It's obvious that they're not. And if you're telling me they're losing Jimmy Ward, then they're definitely not a quarterback away. Deebo Samuel is not a wide receiver. I'm learning that, and I'm unhappy about it because I like Deebo. But he's not a wide receiver. Brandon Ayuk can run some routes really well. You going to pay him? You going to do that? He's going to want to get paid. Remember that whole he's kind of an asshole thing that Kyle Shanahan was going on about publicly? Which, by the way, stupid. Very stupid. You think that's not going to come back up when he sees CeeDee Lamb get paid? A guy in the same round, the same draft of the same year. He's going to get pissed. That George Kittle is apparently just a blocker because they don't want to throw at him. Okay. An entire offense goes through Christian McCaffrey. Well, that's what got Matt Rule fired. So what about Stanford? The defense is good. Fine. But if you're losing Jimmy Ward, it's worse. What are we doing? You don't have any money. Your weakness is corner. That's where money goes. So where are you going to get a corner?
Draft.
That late? This year? It's not the year to be picking one late. I don't know. I'm like smacking this table, but where is San Fran going to right this ship? Bold prediction. I don't know if Kyle Shanahan stays long enough to get the damn thing done. John Lynch will not. They will fire John Lynch before they win their next ring. Book it. I mean, because that roster's actually a mess.
Lynch can be out as soon as next year if they don't make the playoffs.
He should be out now. If I were Jed York, he'd be gone now. How the fuck do you leave me with no quarterbacks? How? Not only that, how do I lose 4 of them? Because you didn't build the damn trenches. When a team loses 4 quarterbacks, it means they're not one away. It means there's a problem that is resulting in dead quarterbacks. Fix that problem. 4!
Okay.
4.
But
2 in the same day.
What was the Trey Lance injury? It was on a routine run, right? It
was a leg.
Routine quarterback run,
yes.
Right? What was Garoppolo's injury? Was it a sack?
I believe it's lower body as well.
Was it a sack, though? Or was it a run?
Might have been. I don't remember.
Yeah. Brock Purdy's, honestly, that's just a freak injury. That was straight up.
Let me put it this way. It's not a freak injury. The elbow was going to get hurt. Whether or not it was the UCL or not was a different problem. But he got hit quickly, very quickly. I think it was pop time 2.8 seconds. It was very quickly. That's not a mistake. That's not an accident. That is a categorical structural flaw in the offensive line. Why is the tight end 2 going one-on-one with Hassan Reddick? I'm sorry. Why are you doing that? Because your coach is a moron? Why? Why are you doing that? His argument was it happens on play action. Noted. That's true. I can't dispute that. But you have George Kittle, who is a high-end blocking tight end. Why is he on Josh Sweat? When Hassan Reddick is it's a son fucking Reddick. I'm sorry. I understand I'm an Eagles fan and whatnot, but he's an all-pro for a reason. He's a Pro Bowl type, all-pro caliber player. He had, 1 million sacks this year? The whole damn D-line had 75? Block! Drop a receiver. Drop a running back. Block. You need to block. If you think... I can't... They're not a quarterback away. They're not. It's not just a quarterback away. Evidenced by the fact that the team was still winning without a top-end quarterback. The team is good, but there's an obvious problem. And I'd argue there's more than one. I think the O-line is a problem, at least the right side of it.
Well, don't worry, it's disappearing.
I think good. That's great. I think the receivers are a problem. I think the secondary is a problem. And I think Eric Armstead and Nick Bosa were rendered ineffective. When I understand the Eagles are a stacked roster, I understand that. But they're not deities. They're still just guys. Armstead was 1-to-1 with Isaac Seumalo most of the game the other day. He is obviously our worst starting O-line.
Yeah, but he's also due for what, $20 million in free agency?
He's going to get paid a shitload of money. Yeah, he's not staying in Philly. He's going to be paid a shitload of money. And rightfully so. He's good. But somebody's going to sign him to anchor their O-line. They're going to be very disappointed. He's fine. He's very good. No, he's not an anchor. Yeah, it's true. Honestly, hey, he's a very good right guard. I can't tell you he's not. He's quite good.
Please.
You want him?
I want O-line.
How much money do you want to pay Isaac? Because that's
sure, 22.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No.
I'll pay the free agency tax. I don't care.
Fucking take him. Fine.
I also have to Ron Payne.
Yeah. And David fucking Putney.
No, you can have him. Yeah. I don't have enough money.
I think my point's made.
Yeah.
I don't look at the Niners as a preeminent threat.
So let's just finish this exercise.
Am I just way off base? Is this like am I talking crazy?
I mean, you're a little off, but you're not that off.
Function is my check and balance then. What am I wrong about?
You just don't agree with me. That's it.
What is the disagreement?
We are at an impasse.
You think they're a quarterback away? You think if they had a quarterback?
I think if they had Rodgers next year, okay, and they draft well, they would return to the conference championship. I do.
That's not the point.
What?
What wins them a Super Bowl? They've been to the conference a couple of times.
What wins you a Super Bowl? You have a better day that day.
What wins them a Super Bowl?
What wins them a better Super Bowl? What wins
them healthy?
Super Bowl?
I'm just gonna honestly. I'll make this very, very clear. They could have had Jimmy, Trey, Purdy, Josh Johnson at his best, which probably was what we saw. Or Aaron Rodgers. The Niners were not winning that game last week because the team wasn't built to beat that matchup. They're not good enough. They beat the shit out of their division this year. And that's amazing.
Well, I mean, their division was weak as all hell.
Very. They beat the hell out of teams.
The thing is, the NFC is garbage.
There are two really good teams in it.
Yeah, and the Niners
they just played. But if there was any evidence that the Niners are quote unquote not as good as people think they are, or if there's any evidence that the Eagles are way better than people think they are, it was last game. That's my overarching point. Because I don't look at that game as saying, oh, if you had Brock Purdy, you win. Fuck no.
You know what? No. If they had Brock Purdy, they had a chance to win.
You can't tell me. They had a chance to win with Josh Johnson.
No,
they were not going to win the game. I will never say a team doesn't have a chance. You know that about me. Every team has a chance. I know that. Brock Purdy was not winning that game.
It's just, okay, the Eagles...
That's not the difference between it.
The Eagles are prone to playing bad football for a half. They've done it a lot.
We've played down to a lot of teams. Yeah. We played very down. Houston is a really good example of it.
So quite literally,
our first half against the Texans was very poor.
You can't tell me that if Purdy was on that team and healthy, then I would give the Niners a decent shot in beating you.
But why was Brock Purdy not healthy?
Because he got hit at the wrong time.
No. It's because he got hit, period.
Well, fuck you.
The team, not like that. Not that quickly. It's not supposed to happen that fast. When it happens that fast, it means the O-line isn't doing the job. And if you're going to tell me that's my... Think about... Just put any other quarterback in that situation. The exact same play happens. Put Brady back there. Gone. Every single one of them. The elbow goes.
Brady would have collapsed when he hiked the
True. That's true.
Brady does that, yeah.
That's true. But the point has to hold there. It didn't matter who was the quarterback on that play. The injury was coming. He was going to be hit on the elbow unless he collapsed. And the O-line was a liability, at least on that play, if not most of the day. I'm not saying it's not because the Eagles have an overpowered D-line with 8 bona fide starters on it. They do have that. But you have to find a way. And it wasn't even competitive. That part of it wasn't competitive.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with the quarterback. It had nothing to do with the quarterback.
Okay, but then we also saw the San Francisco defense hold the Philly offense, I think, for like a quarter and a half.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't question the Niners' defensive skill. I don't question that at all. It's very strong. It's a very good unit.
I'm just saying, if he doesn't get hurt, if another quarterback doesn't get hurt there.
What do you mean doesn't get hurt?
Okay.
The O-line allowed that to happen.
Yeah, but the amount of like freakiness that has to happen for that. The arm has to be in the exact position that it was. But it was.
And if it didn't happen on that, the quarterbacks were hit like 12 times. They got hit constantly. They were hit constantly. The only reason it stopped was because the rest of the playbook was handoffs. That was the only reason hitting the quarterback stopped, because the quarterback no longer had the ball. It was the entire day. The Niner O-line was outmatched. Outmatched. Again, the Eagles' talent on the D-line is absurd. I'm not going to cheapen that. I'm not saying the Niners had an easy task. They didn't. But to point at the Niners and say, this is a vastly better team. They have a much, much better chance with any other different quarterback. Put any name in there. With the exception of potentially Lamar Jackson, I think it's a bullshit take. Only reason I say Lamar Jackson is because obviously the offense changes a great deal. Because that's Lamar Jackson doesn't run an offense. Lamar Jackson runs Lamar Jackson.
Okay, let's talk about next year then. The Niners,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
Let's say they can't improve. They're not going to improve their team in free agency.
They don't have a whole lot of money to do it.
They restructure and find a way to sign Jimmy Ward.
They lost D'Amico.
Yeah.
Which is
they replaced
significant.
Him with Steve Wilkes.
Which is a good ad. It's a great ad.
We'll get to that later, guys.
Yep.
Let's look at the rest of the NFC, okay?
Sure.
Cardinals are going to be bad.
Yep.
Rams are going to be mediocre.
Although their final 3 in coaching, I'll be one of them is Brian Flores, who just was hired by the Vikings as a DC. The other 2 were, I forget who they were. I just remember seeing them being like, these are actually good choices.
Okay.
The Cardinals actually
have
it was
a coach. Lou Aromo.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name either. Is he Baltimore?
No.
Kafka. Lou Anarumo and Mike Kafka. That's who it is. I think those are both great choices. I really do. I think either one of them is a good option.
Okay. They're going to be bad.
Yeah, they're going to be bad. They're probably not going to be very good at all.
The Rams are going to be mediocre at best.
Maybe.
Seattle is
weird. Weird.
The entirety of the NFC South can go to hell.
This is the West.
Yeah, I know. The entirety of the
South?
Entirety of the NFC South can go.
Yeah, the South is a mess.
Yeah. The NFC North will not have Aaron Rodgers. We'll have Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins, and Jared Goff. Detroit might win that division.
I was going to say, you want a bold-ass prediction in February of 2023?
Okay.
I think Detroit wins that division.
All right. And then your division, Washington, Sam Howell experience. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Who knows?
The Giants, weird.
The whole damn division is going to be weird.
And the Cowboys.
Eagles have 17 free agents. The team's going to look different.
The Cowboys are going to find a way to disappoint people.
Usually.
The path is not hard to come back, is all I'm saying. And then it's any given day. It's any given day.
Now, I understand it's any given fucking day. If you're going to tell me that the Niners can't win anything next year, it's bullshit. Of course they can win something. The fucking Browns can. But
no, they're done.
I mean, they're in bad shape, but they probably can. I don't see the Niners getting better. That's my point. I don't see them getting
it
better.
will be through draft. If they get better, it'll be through
At best. I don't see them getting better. They're just going to be what they're going to be.
Like, I mean,
I don't know who the whole. I don't know what every Niner free agent is. I now know Jimmy Ward is one of them. That's substantial.
Jimmy Ward and McGlinchey are the best important ones.
Those are both important. I mean, you might want to let McGlinchey walk if last week is any indication of how he is. But you can't let Jimmy Ward go. I think he's one of your captains.
No, my only issue with the Niners is an issue I've had since they drafted the guy. I don't believe Trey Lance has it. Like I don't think he's a core.
I'm certainly no longer on the wagon, but I certainly don't care. Like that's my like if Trey Lance is named the starter for San Fran next year, I'm not just like, oh no. Like it doesn't fine. Go ahead. Try.
And none of the veteran quarterbacks interest them. That's fine. I mean, I think that's valid. You need to find somebody real now. But
what if they trade for Lamar?
With what? They're still paying for Trey Lance, aren't they?
But they trade them Trey Lance. What do you think the Ravens are going to do this without a quarterback contingency plan?
I'm just saying Trey Lance.
What are they going to do? You think they're going to start Tyler Huntley?
I mean, it worked for Gino.
Did you see that Tyler Huntley was in the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, that's insulting. I mean,
can we stop? The Pro Bowl's a fucking joke.
I already don't care about Pro Bowl.
That is disrespectful.
Yeah.
That is disrespectful to everybody else there. Really?
No,
Tyler Huntley?
I've been telling you for years the Pro Bowl's a joke.
I've agreed with you the whole time. There's no it's not you weren't convincing me of that.
Anyways, that's not important. I don't think Trey Lance is worth a 1. I don't think he substitutes a first-round pick.
I'm not saying he does.
Okay, then I don't think he matters in this trade. He's a Drew Lock in this trade.
I think no. I don't agree with that.
Like, what is Trey Lance's actual value? He's played what? 16 games?
It's well above Drew Lock. It's probably as high a 2 as you could ask for.
Okay, Trey Lance was drafted in 2021.
Yes.
They didn't even play. He didn't even play that year because of COVID. His team was canceled, basically. So his college year was what, 2020? How many games has Trey Lance actually played in the NFL?
Not that many. I think it was mostly this year, and it was like 4. I don't think he's got very many at all. He played 2 this year.
Trey Lance has played 2 games.
He played 2 games this season. He has played 8 in his career. He's played 8.
So he's played 8 games in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's played 8 games in 3 years because his college season was a loss in 2021. This kid's not worth shit.
Okay.
And he doesn't show he hasn't shown up well in his games.
The San Francisco 49ers, in order to acquire a player of Lamar Jackson's caliber,
will have to send like 3 ones.
Would be no. Mainly because the Ravens want him gone now. So it's not. I mean, they haven't said it. There's no reporting of that. But if you're $100 million apart,
just watch the timeline, guys.
If you're $100 million apart with a month to go before free agency, $100 million apart, you don't want him back. That's writing on the wall, guys. They don't have to say it. It's very clear they don't want him back.
All right, we fully have moved on to Lamar Jackson. Okay,
sure.
So, while talking about San Fran still, what are San Fran's draft picks still left? They don't have a 1 this year, right?
I don't know what they have.
They traded for McCaffrey. Do they even have a 2?
Niners 2022, 2023 draft.
So they have
picks.
11 picks. All right.
Okay.
Here are your picks. You're gonna have 3 threes. They're all comp picks.
They have nothing 1 or 2.
They have nothing 1 and 2.
We're already done with this analysis.
Okay, but now I'm just gonna talk about the Niners.
Go ahead.
John Lynch probably should be fired. They have 3 threes, all comp picks due to coaching hires or GM hires. Their next pick is round 5, which is their own. Round 5 from the Dolphins. Round 5 from a comp pick. And then it's 6 and 7s. It's 1 6 and 4 7s. 4 7s.
Hold on a second. I just found something even more ridiculous.
Okay.
It's like a shorter way of saying what you just said, but when you say it this way, it sounds a whole lot worse.
Okay.
The San Francisco 49ers are scheduled to have 11 draft picks.
Yeah.
4 of them are not comp picks.
Yeah.
4. And they're 2 5s and 2 7s.
All right. In 2024, they have their own picks.
Wee. Just in time for the next GM.
Oh, yeah. And just in time for the next quarterback. You know what the Niners should do?
Yeah, but they're a quarterback away.
Well, yeah, because what they have on the roster aren't quarterbacks.
What should the Niners do? Rip it the fuck down? I would.
I might try to trade Nick Bosa. See what I can get.
I don't know. I mean, there's another guy I'm thinking about. I wonder where Eric Armstead's contract has an out. Because he was paid. I know he was paid. I'm finding the contract. 5 for 85. He got good money. But does he have an out? He does.
His out is right now.
It's now. It's right fucking now. Oh, no. There's an out, but it's a massive dead cap.
That's bad.
No. It's an out, but it's not really an out.
All right, let's talk about Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
The Niners are in trouble.
Rip Niners.
Yeah. All right, Lamar Jackson. I've been saying it for months now. He's not a Raven. we had a whole like stupid next Raiders quarterback potentials, and he was like what factor? He was like option X,
something like that.
What is Lamar Jackson going to get paid? Is it top of the NFL?
Yeah.
It won't be fully guaranteed, will it?
I mean, here's my problem.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a team willing to do it, right? I have to assume one of these 31 idiots.
Well, let's look at who were the last remaining for the Deshaun Watson? It was Atlanta and New Orleans, right?
And New Orleans, yeah.
Well, New Orleans can't afford that.
New Orleans can't afford this. New Orleans is not way out of their depth. Way out of their depth. Unless they trade the whole damn farm to the Ravens, and the Ravens have no problem taking on the cash, but there's no way that's going to happen.
It's not happening. So let's look at Atlanta.
Does Mike Thomas have an out? I have to assume he does. I can't imagine all the contracts are written that poorly. I know some of them are, but I have to assume that his isn't that bad.
He doesn't have an out.
Oh, his cut line is a dead of Jesus.
No, he's a saint. I mean, that's a restructure if I ever
Oh my goodness.
That's 100% going to be a restructure.
Dead of 26 for a wide receiver. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Although they did a restructure about a month ago. Reduced his 2023 base salary from 15.5 to 116. So he added a crazy roster bonus to later. So it's a kick the can play. He's not going anywhere. That's what I knew. I didn't know they did this. Yeah, he's not going anywhere. Jesus.
Okay, so
happy 30th birthday, Michael Thomas. A week from now.
So Lamar Jackson options. Like, give me your top 3. Is it still going to be Atlanta, Jets, and Dallas?
I can't. I don't think Dallas is my top 3.
Mm-hmm.
I see the path. Like that. That's the thing. Like I see the path, and I see a Jerry Jones that's getting desperate. Because if the Eagles, and we're going to talk about the Super Bowl, I promise. But if the Eagles win, stop. If the Eagles win, Jerry Jones is now going to watch the Eagles win 2 rings in 5 years.
Yeah.
I can't imagine he's going to be accepting of that. I think, you know what? I'll put it this way. If the Eagles lose, Dallas isn't in the top 3. If the Eagles win, might happen the night of. It might happen the night of. And it might be the dumbest trade you've ever seen. He might overspend. But I don't know. I don't know. He's splashy. It's what Dallas is. It's what Jerry's always been. He's splashy. I'm terrified for Cowboys fans because I don't know if Zeke's going to be gone.
He's not.
That's dumb.
And they're going to try to pay Tony Pollard too.
Also dumb.
I looked up Washington really quick. They have $1 million in cap space.
They have $1 million?
1,480,000.
It's probably because Carson's still on the book, though.
Okay.
Carson's contract. I don't know what Carson's outside. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. The fact that the Indianapolis Colts.
It's a beautiful contract. It's out in 2023 for 0 dead cap.
Beautiful. So they can get out now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to get out now. They're going to save $1 million. They're going to save $26 million. There's your money. There's your money right there.
Good contract.
Yeah, there's your money right there. Yeah, guess who wrote it? It's a good contract. Yeah, it's amazing. I wonder who wrote that. Maybe the NFL's Executive of the Year, Howie Roseman.
Okay, but Washington's free agent pool does include Daron Payne, Trey Turner.
Well, cutting Trey Turner will go. Cutting him allows them to keep Payne if they want to.
Yeah.
That's, they could also tag Payne. They can get cute with Payne. If they move on from not even an if. When they move on from Carson, hey, you want him? You need a quarterback.
I mean, if I get Carson, maybe I can get the number 1 pick.
Yeah, you can. Who's your backup?
Right now? No, Stidham's a free agent.
Oh, God. You don't have a backup?
I have Chase Garber from California.
What pick is yours?
7. I want pick 3.
You've picked 7?
Yeah.
And no QBs on the roster.
No QBs on the roster.
Okay, I hadn't broken it down in my brain yet, but now I have. Okay, yeah, you're definitely getting Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah, no,
you're definitely getting
literally all.
Well, it's actually like it's unfair how obvious it is.
Oh, it's disgusting.
What a bad year. That's gross.
How many messages have I sent you in the past week?
I know. But it didn't. I overlooked it because of I was insanely busy, but B, I overlooked it because of what I know the logistics have to be in order to cut a deal with Aaron Rodgers. But yeah,
I mean, and okay, the worst part of it, right, is the contract he signed with Green Bay to keep on playing for them.
Right.
It's disgusting.
What cap space do you have?
I'm 8th or 9th in the league. I think I'm at before the Carr contract. Let me get you a real amount.
Yeah.
I currently am at 17.
You have 17 million right now.
I have 17 and a half right now.
When Carr's gone, what do you go up to? 30 or 40?
His cap hit next year is going to be 34.875. So it'll be 40.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You're not going to get a lot for him because of that number. You're not going to get much for him at all. Yeah. Is the cut line the same as the trade line for his savings?
Yes.
Okay. Here's what's
the dead cap. The dead cap next year is 5.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. It's irrelevant.
I mean, no, the out was this year.
Let me explain to you what you're going to do. Let me explain to you what you're going to do.
Okay.
And you're going to be a wild card team next year because of it.
Yeah.
I know. Well, you can't win your division. I'm not picking anyone to win. No, you're not going to be bad. You're not going to be bad. No, too bad. You're not going to be bad. You're not going to be bad because you're getting Lamar.
Oh, really? So let me get this straight.
You're saving the money.
Let me get this straight. 2 months ago, when I told you wild card option, you laughed my fucking ass off.
No, I didn't count it yet. Okay. Now I have.
Okay.
You're getting Lamar. You're not going to get Daron Payne.
Yeah.
You're not going to get anything else. You're going to get Lamar, and you're probably going to tag Josh, and that's going to be it. And that's going to be it. You have how many picks do you have? You have picked 7?
I have pick 7. It's
Done.
going to the Ravens.
That's gone.
Mhm.
That's gone.
No, yeah, duh.
And your one next year is probably gone.
Yeah, duh. In this hypothetical scenario, yeah, of course.
And you're going to have a 7-year contract waiting for him.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, you're the most built for it. You're going to win like 11 games and lose in the wild card or divisional round. That's what you're going to do. And Devontae Adams is going to see a career high of targets. He's going to see.
I don't know about that. Darren Waller might see a career high.
No, because I'm not convinced he's staying.
Okay, you think he goes with it
financially?
Yeah,
but yeah, because you still need to build a little bit. That first year, you're going to guarantee a decent amount. His cap hit this year is going to not be that big.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think
you're positioned. I'm not going to like write it in stone, but you're positioned.
I think that's great and all, right? I think Waller is a Raider this next year, and it's only because McDaniels needs to win, otherwise he's fired.
I think that's why Waller's gone. Waller can't stay healthy. He can't stay healthy, and his drop percentage skyrocketed.
If he's gone, though, Foster Moreau is also a free agent.
You'll sign him to cheaper. He's way cheaper. You'll keep him in the building, go way cheaper. You'll draft a tight end mid-round.
Good year to need one, honestly.
It's a good year. You'll draft a tight end mid-round. He's familiar with doing that round 2 or later. He's very familiar with doing that.
Anyways, this isn't important. This is after the Super Bowl stuff.
I mean, it is important because we're talking about Lamar.
Yeah.
But, yeah, give it a couple of weeks. The combine hit. We're going to know about the Carr trade soon.
We're going to know about the Carr trade. The Carr trade or cut will have happened before our next episode comes out.
Yeah, because the deadline's what, the 13th or 14th or 15th? Yeah, there's a contract escalator deadline that is really making this a very time is very much of the essence. And considering how dramatic David and Derek Carr have been publicly about this, I assure you there's no way he's staying.
No, he's not staying.
These are grown-ass men. I cannot they should just start a blog.
They will. When he retires, there will be a podcast.
the amount of sour grapes the two of them are had. Like it's really, you know what? I've been saying it for years, but I'm gonna say it even louder. Mike Florio was right. He's been right the whole time. Derek Carr's soft. He's so soft. He's so soft. You can say it now. He's not your quarterback.
I just still don't agree with it.
The evidence is there, Abdeen. You don't have to agree with it or not, but you can watch me hit someone in the face saying, no, he didn't hit anybody. You can watch me do it. You don't have to agree that it happened, but it did.
So let's wrap up the Raiders and then move on to coaching.
Wrap up like Barry in a coffin?
Please.
That's where the cap is going.
Please.
They're better. I hope Ziegler is real cute with an out. That's all I'm going to say on the Lamar contract.
Let's just
because it's either gonna be great or you're going to be in really bad shape 3 years from now.
Because this is going to happen before we enter the next episode.
Sure.
Is he cut or traded, Derek
Carr?
Yeah.
Are there any teams that want him?
Apparently they are, but all of them. I mean, like, I don't see a reason to trade for him.
Honestly, call Chris Ballard. That jackass will trade for anybody.
Yeah.
Call him.
Okay, but
he traded for Carson Wentz. Hell, just do it.
Cut or traded? Your prediction. You want me to go first while you think about it?
I know where I'm leaning, but yeah, go ahead.
I think he's cut.
That's where I'm leaning.
I think he's cut. Because I don't like. I get it. The whole thing came out that he prefers to be traded to like save face. That's bullshit, man. Just.
I mean, it's not bullshit, but it's a waste of time.
Carolina wants to draft a quarterback. It's clear as day. Carolina wants to draft a quarterback. Houston wants to draft a quarterback. The Saints have no money. The Saints have no money.
No, they don't.
You telling me Atlanta isn't going to wait out Lamar Jackson before they move on a quarterback? You telling me the Jets aren't going to wait out Lamar Jackson before they move on a quarterback?
I don't know what the Falcons are going to do. And it interests me. Because the Falcons could, like, you could tell me that they're going to ride the Ritter wagon for 1 year, and I'd be like, okay. And then you could tell me that they're not going to do that and trade for a guy. I'd be like, okay. Like, I don't look at the Falcons and be like, they have to do this, or if they don't do it, they're stupid. Like, I don't know what's right for the Falcons. Ritter played okay ball here and there. I can't say he played like crap because he didn't. So
Carolina wants a quarterback. Frank Reich has made that very clear. That he wants
no shit.
Yeah.
Frank Reich was pretty clear about it when we drafted Carson.
The wild card in this for me is Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay is weird because up until about a week ago, they didn't necessarily need a quarterback, but he was always leaving. So I guess they needed him the whole time. I'm on board with them just putting Kyle Trask out there and having some fun. I'm on board with it.
All right, let's do some rapid fire coaching.
I'm on board with that.
Let's do some rapid fire coaching higher grades.
Go ahead.
Brian Flores is the DC of the Minnesota Vikings.
A-.
A+.
Yeah. Only reason it's a minus because he should have been a head coach.
Sean Payton is the head coach.
And it's his fault. No,
I'm gonna save Payton for last.
Yeah, save Sean Payton for last.
Frank Reich, head coach of the Carolina Panthers.
S tier.
I am going to go A because I think it should have been Steve Wilkes.
That's why I'm going to go S minus.
Yeah.
S tier minus.
I think it should have been Steve Wilkes, but also I think it's an excellent hire. Vic Fangio, defensive coordinator of the Dolphins.
That's a very high tier play. I'm going to go with an A+. But an A++ because it means Jonathan Gannon is staying in Philly.
Ejiro Evero, defensive coordinator of the Carolina Panthers.
He went to the Panthers?
Yeah.
I did not know he did that.
Yeah.
He quit from Denver to go coach with Reich.
This is how loyal he is to Nathaniel Hackett. Apparently, like, he was literally Hackett's best
man. He should have gone to the Jets.
He was Hackett's best man.
Okay. A.
Yeah.
It's a good DC.
A tier. This is connected. No, not yet. Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator of the Chargers.
I'm going to go incomplete.
I'm going to go D.
I'm going to go incomplete. Because it is equal parts A and F.
No.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
D. I think I laughed my ass off when they hired him. It's a very Charger move, in my opinion.
Kellen, I'm probably in the minority on this, but I watched a lot of Cowboy football this year. It wasn't Kellen Moore's fault. It was the new play caller's fault.
Mike McCarthy's new play. Okay. DeMeco Ryans, Houston Texans.
Congratulations, Houston. You did fucking something smart.
Until you cut him 1 year later because he didn't.
Yeah, until you fire him. Like, just let him stay for a minute. Just stay.
Now,
be normal.
Why are we talking about DeMeco Ryans? So Denver tried to sign DeMeco Ryans.
They did.
So hard the final day. Like, they went full court and
yeah. Because Jim Harbaugh, I guess, said no to Denver. But first of all, that's another one that I'm actually going to grade an A for Denver
for not
getting Jim Harbaugh, for not falling into the Harbaugh trap. Because I think wherever he comes next, it's going to be a bad situation. But just because DeMeco is wanted by Denver doesn't make him a better or worse coach. It means Denver might have seen something.
He was definitely a good coach, though.
Of course he is. It might have been something Denver was seeing, but DeMeco, it was an A before and it's an A now. Just let him coach for more than a minute and a half.
Sean Payton, Denver Broncos second choice.
There's 2 grades here.
Okay.
First, the objective coach to team situation. Sean Payton's a good football coach. B B plus even.
Yeah, I feel B-ish.
Sure, B plus. Ask me how I feel about trading for coaches.
How do you feel about trading?
Don't fucking do it. Why are you doing that? Let alone a 1.
Coaching matters.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
And I'm the biggest proponent of that. But you don't take player capital to fill out the coaching staff.
Okay, who would you rather of the cycle? Who would you rather have them bring in instead of trading for Sean Payton?
D'Amico Ryans.
But D'Amico said no.
I think either Eagles coordinator would have been a comparably decent hire. I'm glad nobody did, but Steichen could be a cult. We'll see.
That's Jeff Saturday, and we all know it.
I might have taken a swing at Kafka. And I understand that he's unpopular, but I don't give a shit. Eric Bieniemy needs a job. We need to at least see if it happens. It needs to happen. We need to see it not work.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just bullshit. We need to see it not work. And also Flores. Flores got a DC job. All right. He should have probably gotten more. We know why. He's suing the league. It makes sense he didn't get the job, but he should have.
All right, let's move on to a couple of players that you might be shocked to see available by the next time we air.
Yep.
Keenan Allen.
Yeah, rumors circulating that Mr. Allen might be a cut candidate for a Charger team 23 over the number.
And he's owed $21 million.
Yeah, and his dead, if they cut him, is like 4. So it's pretty damn natural for a receiver with an injury history heading into his age 32 season to potentially be let go for the purposes of money.
What about DeAndre Hopkins?
By the way, that's another team that I think is like maybe rip it down a little bit.
Well, the Chargers?
The Chargers. I'm going to rip that down a little bit. You're going to have to pay the quarterback, but rip it down a little bit.
What about DeAndre Hopkins? The Cardinals still trying to get a coach. He's old.
Yep. Well, older. He's not old. Yeah.
Time to probably move on. He wants a brand new contract anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's traded or cut?
Dallas.
Lamar Jackson and DeAndre Hopkins.
Dallas. I have this sinking feeling that Dallas is about to go balls to the wall this offseason.
Okay.
And I think they're going to go bananas. If the Eagles win this Super Bowl, I am terrified. not because I'm like, oh, they're a threat. I'm terrified because of the precedent this is going to set for the NFL. They're going to go full LA Rams.
Okay.
They're going to go full Rams. I have to assume it. That's my gut feeling is they're going to go full Rams. Why else would you hire Brian Schottenheimer as the OC?
Which is the one we forgot.
I didn't forget him. I'll never forget him. F, by the way, F. Hard F. But second place F behind giving Mike McCarthy play calling duty. Because, dear God, do you not remember what happened in Green Bay? Where are you going?
We're sliding into the Super Bowl, John.
Oh, you went Collinsworth this? Isn't there a Fox?
Who cares?
It's on Fox. Super Bowl 57. And yes, this has been a long episode. Our sincerest apologies. But if you made it this long, let's talk about the Super Bowl briefly.
All right, I'll go first as the non-biased person who's extremely biased.
True.
Yeah. I honestly think this is Phillies to lose. I think Kansas City's offensive line will be an issue. I think the fact that Mahomes still didn't look great running football will be an issue. I'm looking at the wide receivers. I mean, Travis Kelce will get touches. He'll probably get a touchdown, but none of the wide receivers scare me. I'm looking at the running back situation. None of it really scares me. Clyde
Edwards-Helaire got activated.
Who cares?
But Mecole Hardman was not. He was knocked down.
That's again, wide receivers don't matter for the Chiefs anymore. On defense, I think Kansas City has a good defensive line. It's good. They're going against the best offensive line in football, so we'll see how that goes. I think Kansas City's corners, L'Jarius Sneed's great. The rest of them are good. Nothing really special. The linebackers are great. Safeties, fine. Like the Kansas City defense doesn't really pop to me outside of the defensive line. So I think I honestly, if it wasn't Mahomes in the back, I think this would be comfortable. Like I really do. The only thing here is Andy Reid is coaching. So I expect this to be a probably over 53 point total. Pretty comfortably, is what I would say. Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles to win it.
The Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl.
The Dallas Cowboys are going to get Lamar.
The Cowboys are going to win the next 7. The Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. The Eagles are going to win Super Bowl 57.
I think like what actually solidifies this for me so much was the way Tampa Bay won their Super Bowl against the Chiefs.
Sure.
Because I think the blueprint's the same, in my opinion. And you get Mahomes uncomfortable, and he has worse supporting talent this time. I think it can turn ugly.
Patrick Mahomes is many things. Crafty, elusive, rocket of an arm, pinpoint accurate, wildly football intelligent. But there is one thing he also is, and that is human. I know at times it doesn't seem that way, but he is. I promise. There is no quarterback in this league. No quarterback in this league that is going to be able to withstand the onslaught that he's about to face for 60 minutes. I believe Patrick Mahomes is going to be sacked upwards of 5 to 6 times.
Okay.
And it's going to be without the blitz. And the reason that's going to happen is because I really only see one way for the Kansas City Chiefs to win this football game. I do see one way. Isaiah Pacheco needs to explode. And he's good. I've seen enough of Isaiah Pacheco at this point to say the guy can play well. He played really well. But they need him to play out of his skull. Because if they can't, the ears are going to be pinned back. They need to find a way to keep the D-line honest. Because you can't just run the ball or just pass the ball on a defense that is as multifaceted as the Eagles' defense is. For all this talk about how iffy Jalen Hurts' shoulder is right now, and it's probably legitimate, there's nothing wrong on the defense. They're pretty damn healthy. Avonte Maddox has a toe thing, and that's it. Sweat might have had a neck thing. He doesn't. That's it. That's the end of the list. There's nobody else hurt. CJ Gardner-Johnson manning the middle. Slay and Bradbury on the edges against receivers that can't even cash the checks that those two are being paid. This is not matchup to matchup. Like you said, if not for Mahomes, this would be comfortable. But Mahomes is different. He's human, but he's different. There's no question he's different. Travis Kelce is different. And the weakness of the Eagles' defense is probably Kaiser White, who's going to be tasked with a little bit of covering him. But that's hardly a weakness. When your weakness is Kaiser White, you're doing okay. Now, on the other side of the football, Chiefs did okay against the run this year. I think they're all right.
They have solid linebackers and have a good defense.
They do. Yeah. They do. I don't give a shit how many times Spagnuolo blitzes. It doesn't seem to matter. It just doesn't seem to matter at all. The Niners tried on defense to get after Jalen. They still couldn't really do it. First half, he was a little slow getting out of blocks, and then he wasn't. I'm a member of the fan base, so it's obviously going to sound, soft for me to be like, okay, the Eagles are just going to win. But I have yet to see a reason why they're not. I've said it for a few weeks. If the Eagles play their best football, there is no team in the league that stops them on their best day. If the Eagles play their best football, they win. They beat everybody if they play their best football because they maul you in the trenches. Maul you. They are violent. We're making Ndamukong Suh play like 18% of snaps. We're keeping him fresh. Jordan Davis is getting like 20%. Linval Joseph's getting like 15 and mostly only on rushing downs now. Then I got Milton Williams, who looks like a machine. Be ready for him next year. Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox. I've only named interior guys so far, by the way. Reddick, Sweat, Graham. And then I've got Edwards and Kaiser in the middle. I've got Gardner Johnson and Marcus Epps and Reed Blankenship. And I've got Slay and Bradbury. That's the defense. And then on offense, I have Miles Sanders, who I don't need a good running back for this O-line. I don't need it. And Kenny Gainwell looks like he's just going to take his job because he's out of his mind right now. Boston Scott's got 2 weeks in a row with a touchdown. He didn't play the Giants last week, and he still scored. Lane Johnson's playing without a core muscle, and he's still mauling some of the best pass rushers in football. I got A.J. Brown, who I have to assume is like maniacally ready to catch a pass because it's been 2 weeks where he like hasn't gotten the ball.
Yeah, right.
I have to assume he's like going to kill someone if he doesn't get a throw. Devontae Smith, who I argue might be better than AJ. Goddard, a top 6 tight end. Where's the problem? Yeah, my punter's not good. Brett Kern is not good. Not good at all. That's why Aaron Siposs is probably going to play. But
I'll wrap it off with
30 to 24.
I'll wrap it up with one question that was asked to Nick Sirianni, head coach of the Philadelphia.
I did see that.
John, is the Super Bowl a must-win game?
You bet your ass. I've said it a million times, and you should not, as a self-respecting journalist, never ask a head coach, is this a must-win game? Fuck you. Of course it is.
You know what I would have answered if I was there?
Next question.
No, I would have said, no, it's a preseason game.
Yeah, right.
For next year.
Yeah, right. The only game that matters is the Super Bowl. You win it, and you had a successful season.
All right, y'all have a good night. We'll
One
see
away.
you after the Super Bowl.
Go Birds.
Yeah, anything but the Chiefs.